Cloud gaming is the future, or is it? Now, I've been a big fan of cloud gaming, and I didn't really see the downside of it until today. On December 26, 2024, Xbox Support put out this tweet. We are aware users may be experiencing issues launching cloud gaming titles. We appreciate your patience, and please watch here or on our status page for updates. Today is December 27, 2024. So for the past 24 hours, I haven't had access to anything on Xbox Cloud Gaming, which is a real shame. Now, in order to access Xbox Cloud Gaming, you have to be a member of Xbox Game Pass. And not just the regular Xbox Game Pass tier, you have to be at the highest tier, the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate tier, which costs $20 a month here in America. And for a lot of people, that's way too much money to be spending on a subscription service. So it depends on what kind of gamer you are. Now, for somebody like me, I like to play a bunch of different games all at the same time. I don't want to play one game all the way through and then start a new game all the way through. I like to, dip my toes into a bunch of different games. So it's convenient for me because you have access to hundreds of titles, many of which are available through the cloud. And that's a great thing because you don't actually have to have an Xbox console at all. You could just play your games on whatever browser you have on any device that has a screen on it. You could play it on your MacBook laptop. You could play it on your Windows laptop. You could play it on your Lenovo Legion Go or your iPhone or your Android phone. It's great. You don't actually have to buy an Xbox Series S or Xbox Series X. Now, full disclosure, I recently bought an Xbox Series X console, the all digital edition, 1 terabyte robot white. I bought it because it was on sale recently because of the holidays. And also because I want to play a lot of old games that are not available on the cloud. So I've downloaded a bunch of them to my console. So I can still play games right now, but I can't access anything on the cloud. So I can't play a lot of the newest games right now that I want to play, like Indiana Jones and The Great Circle or Call of Duty Black Ops 6. And so now I see the downside of cloud gaming because your network could just go down at any moment. And now all of the Xbox cloud gaming users across the world can't access the games they want to play. And it's the holidays. A lot of people have time off. They're off from school. They're off from work. And they can't play anything. And today's December 27th. A lot of people probably just got an Xbox console for Christmas, or they got the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate for the holidays because, there's a lot of deals on Xbox Game Pass, and they can't play anything. That is a big black eye on Xbox's cloud gaming service in a very weird year for Xbox. I mean, just a few weeks ago, they had that advertising campaign where they were saying that everything is an Xbox, trying to promote their cloud gaming service. They're basically saying you could play Xbox games on any device, as I mentioned, any device that has a screen on it. But now everyone's finding out, oh, this is what happens with cloud gaming. You might not have access to your games. Now we're at 24 hours. Who knows? Maybe 24 more hours will go by and I still won't have access to them. It's a really an eye-opening moment, especially for people who, like me, got the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate service before they even had a console. For a while, I wasn't even going to get a console because I was like, wow, I can just play all these games on the cloud. Now imagine if I didn't have a console right now. I can't play any of the video games, but I'm still paying for the subscription service. That's amazing, right? So if I didn't have this console, I couldn't play any games at all because the only way I could access them would be through cloud streaming, and that's not available right now. And so for a whole day went by, and I'm paying monthly for this service, but I don't have access to what I paid for. That's crazy, isn't it? And I just wanted to mention that a lot of people have been down on cloud streaming games for a long time because, well, you see a lag sometimes. It depends on how strong your, internet service providers, whatever they're giving you, how well is it functioning? It depends on that. It depends on a lot of things. So you might not get the most frames per second that you want, and you could run into problems here and there, but I hadn't run into a problem until just yesterday. And I still have that same problem. But I understand why people have been down on this, and that owning physical media is important in situations like this. You hear certain YouTubers like Moist Critical, Penguin Z0, and also Mudahar from Some Ordinary Gamers, you hear them always talking about the importance of physical media and how this shift towards a digital future where the consoles are getting rid of disk drives altogether, how this is a bad thing. Like the Xbox that I have doesn't have a disk drive on it. Now, why didn't I get one with a disk drive? Well, first of all, the one with the disk drive is more expensive. Remember, I got mine on sale. But also, I don't have any Xbox discs from previous generations. I've never owned an original Xbox or an Xbox 360 or an Xbox One. I didn't own those consoles, so I don't have any Xbox discs. So there's no real reason for me to have an Xbox Series X with a disc drive in it. Now, if I had owned discs from previous generations, of course, I would have gotten the Xbox Series X with the disc drives, because that's one of the big pluses about Microsoft and Xbox. It's that their backwards compatibility goes all the way back to the original Xbox, which is great, which is not something you will find on the PlayStation 5. And speaking of PlayStation 5, they recently released the PlayStation 5 Pro, and they released it for $700, and it doesn't have a disc drive in it. And they didn't even give you a stand with it. Again, moving towards this all digital future. So they want you to pay $700 and not even give you a disc drive. That's a ripoff. And a lot of people think it's a ripoff. There's really no reason to buy a PlayStation 5 Pro. I said they released it recently. I don't actually remember when they released it, but still, you shouldn't have a $700 console without a disc drive. So, I mean, with that in mind, it's like, I'm really realizing that buying everything digitally and this whole digital future is really a dangerous thing. And again, you hear other people talk about it, when games get delisted and you don't have any physical disc that actually has the entire game on it, that's it. You lose access to that game. That game is not preserved. A lot of times, Xbox will release a game and they won't have the entire game on that disc. Even though they give you the physical disc, the whole game is not on it. You have to actually insert the game into your Xbox console, and then you have to download the rest of the game from the internet or the cloud, maybe, I don't know. But you have to download the rest of the game. So you don't actually have the full game at all, even though you're buying a physical disc. To me, that's insane. It's like, you should have the basic game on the disc if you're selling a disc. You should be able to play that disc offline, and you should be able to play the entire game from beginning to end without ever having access to the internet. That's the way it should be. Why am I buying a disc then? There's no point. There's no point in the company investing in whatever the discs and the box that the disc comes in and selling the disc. Why? It's like you're not even giving them the whole game. So now we see the downside of a digital future, or at least I see it firsthand for the first time. And I just wanted to discuss it, and hopefully this cloud service comes online sooner rather than later. Thank you for watching.